Thank you all for joining today's session. I'm Jasmine Garrett here with the New Jersey Economic Development Authority. Today's session is an informational overview on the Angel Match program. A quick housekeeping note, we do suspect many questions will be answered in today's presentation. However, you are able to write in questions at any point during the presentation using Zoom's Q&A feature. It is one of your Zoom command options and will allow us to make sure we are able to get back to you and let others see these questions and answers as well. Today's session is being recorded and will be posted on our NJEDA and YouTube pages. The slides and other resources will also be available in the next few days. Now, to get us started with the presentation, I will shift things over to NJEDA's Director of Innovation Programs, Clark Smith. Clark.
Thanks, Jasmine. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the webinar reviewing our newly launched Angel Match program. I'd like to thank Monica and Fariha on our team for the great presentation we're about to give you and also all their work on Angel Match, plus also Caitlin, Jasmine, and the other NJEDA staff members that helped produce today's event. And to all the community members that have joined to learn more around our program here. So this program specifically targets startups with technology products that are within targeted industries and that are raising equity financing from private investors. But I'd like to let everyone know this is just one of 7 programs in our innovation group, and the EDA has many, many programs to design and assist a wide array of businesses. So just because Angel Match maybe is not a fit for your company or not a fit right now, that doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't a program available from the EDA that can address your current needs. So to learn more, please go to the EDA's website, which is www.njeda.com. You'll see that a lot. And I recommend starting with the Strategic Industry Support tab. It's at the top right of the page. Once you get in there, you'll find access to full product listings and ways to organize them. When you actually get to product landing pages, including the one for Angel Match, these are the best resources for you to find out all the information and requirements around the program. It's a company's responsibility to review all program requirements and demonstrate their eligibility before submitting an application. And most applications require a non-refundable fee to submit, so please keep that in mind. Again, one last thing, if you have questions, please make sure to add them into the chat or the Q&A feature so that we can address them at the end of the presentation for you. And with that, I'll pass it over to my colleague, Monica Athwal, to run through the Angel Match program.
Thank you, Clark. Thank you for joining the Zoom call today. Today, we're going to talk about the Angel Match program, which was just recently launched, and we're excited to tell you all about it here. Next slide. So the Angel Match program provides investment capital to early stage technology companies to scale operations and revenue. The program's funding is from the State Small Business Credit Initiative, which is known as the SSBCI. So you're going to hear that acronym a lot. A federal program administered by the U.S. Department of Treasury. From an economic development perspective, many high potential businesses will not progress past the initial phases to become successful high growth job creators without a robust angel investment ecosystem. The Angel Match program addresses this challenge by providing an additional source of funding to businesses at this early stage of development, while also stimulating additional funding from the investment community. Next slide. On March 11, 2021, President Biden signed the American Rescue Plan Act, which reauthorized and funded the State Small Business Credit Initiative, the SSBCI. Along with the targeted support of startups, the goal of the SSBCI is to encourage the infusion of private capital in partnership with the public sector. Given the lack of financial history of these new businesses ventures and the likelihood of failure, the risk and potential reward associated with angel investings are higher than other later stage investments. New Jersey was approved for $255 million of SSBCI funding. $20.2 million has been allocated for this program, the Angel Match program. Angel Match program is the first out of 6 programs developed to deploy these funds. Applications will be accepted on a rolling basis and processed using a non-competitive criteria in order of completeness of the initial application. To expedite the process from the application to fund disbursements, there'll be no pre-application, but there will be a consultation with us. So, and all the details are located on the website. Next slide. The Angel Match program will provide funding to approved companies in the form of convertible promissory note. Each note will be from 100 up to 500,000. This funding amount is determined by matching the NJEDA's funds with investments provided to the companies by at least two side investors on a one-to-one basis. The external investment should be at least 100,000 in the form of preferred equity with defined price per share. These external investments must be received within 60 days of NJEDA's commitment letter. The NJEDA's note will be unsecured and have no payments for the first 7 years. The note will have a 3% fixed interest rate and a 10-year maturity. The NJEDA will also receive a warrant with 10-year maturity equaling 50% of NJEDA's note principal. Please keep in mind, funds closed before NJEDA's approval or after 60 days of approval are not eligible for this program. Additionally, the investor must be an investment entity, an angel fund, family office, investment partnership, or LLC, or an individual member of an organized investment group. Funds raised from employees or family members will not be considered. Next slide. The Angel Match program targets early stage companies that have shown traction by reaching revenues of at least 100,000 over the last 12 months. They should also have a core team in place and plans of hiring more employees within 2 years of receiving NJEDA funding. Then, along with having a formal business structure, companies should have capital efficient and scalable, meaning revenue growth will significantly outpace the expense growth and the funding requirements. Finally, their product should have a large identifiable target market. Next slide. Early stage product-based innovation companies within a targeted industry are eligible for funding under the Angel Match program. Early stage is defined as a phase of startup development preceding the rapid growth phase. Product-based is defined as company's primary business, including commercialization and a market product, which excludes service-based companies. So, early stage technology companies in a targeted sector structured as a C Corp or LLC with unit structure. A physical location in New Jersey. It could be a commercial office space, co-working space, or incubator space. 50% of full-time employees must be in New Jersey, no more than 100 total employees, at least 2 full-time founders, level executives working in New Jersey. A minimum of 100,000 product-based revenue within the last 12 months. Be registered to do business in New Jersey and in good standing as certified by a valid NJ tax clearance certificate, and agrees to remain located with 50% of full-time employees in New Jersey for the duration of the loan. In addition to the eligibility parameters already stated above, the applicant company must successfully clear the NJEDA's legal review process. Next slide. These are the NJEDA's targeted industries, and their definitions can be found on the Angel Match program website. Please note this list is ever expanding, so more may be added later. So here's a list of them right now, and they are available on the Angel Match website. Next slide. So now we come to the timing of the process. So timing is really critical to ensure a successful closing. The application process for Angel Match is streamlined to ensure funds are dispersed to the company in a timely manner. For this reason, we encourage applicants to review the eligibility checklist to ensure they meet qualifications requirements. If this is a good fit for your company, then reach out to initial consultation with the innovation officer to address any further questions and access the application link. Prepare the documents from the eligibility checklist before starting the application to ensure completeness. Once the application is complete, an internal review process is initiated, after which the commitment letter is issued. The commitment letter must be signed and returned within 10 days of issuance. The issuance of the commitment letter starts the 90-day clock for NJEDA to close and disperse funds. Therefore, the company must close external investments within 60 days of issuance of the commitment letter to allow NJEDA's time for closing. So you could see that timing is definitely tight, and we want to make sure we have a full and completed application. Next slide. So here's some application tips. During the application process, you will be interacting with various EDA departments, such as the innovation programs team, the product operations team, and the closing services team. Please note, one of the items on the checklist is obtaining a tax clearance certificate from the NJ Division of Taxation, which may take some time, so it's best to get an early start on that. Instructions on how to obtain a tax clearance certificate are available in the Angel Match application, and also we can help you through that process. Next slide. So with this program, post-closing, and with the SSBCI, there are some conditions upon closing. With SSBCI participation funding, the Angel Match program must meet strict reporting guidelines by ensuring ongoing monitoring. Without exception, any business applying to this program must complete an accurate application submissions and continue to meet compliance standards for the duration of the loan. For ongoing monitoring, Portfolio Service will reach out for updated documents. As Clark mentioned, there is an application fee, which is non-refundable. It's $1,000. And for more information, you can always go to our website, www.njeda.com/angelmatch. And we also have a mailbox set up at angelmatch@njeda.com to speak with an innovation officer. And I know there was a lot there, but we're happy to have the time left to answer any questions.
Yeah, thanks, Monica, for running through the program. I'd echo that there is a lot, and we don't expect everyone to pick it up immediately. That's why we have the process of, prior to application submissions, we will have a consultation with companies and again run through eligibility with you, and then determine if this is the right fit and if it makes sense for you to move forward, or if we think maybe it's time to hold. We'll give you as clear a message as we can. There were some questions that came through during the presentation, which I'm happy to address. So I think Jasmine might have mentioned it, but I'll reiterate. The presentation is being recorded. It will be posted and accessible through the website. That includes the slides to the deck we'll share as well. Some of them asked who to contact. If you already have a contact at the EDA, you feel free to reach out to them. They will refer you back to our team, and namely through that Angel Match mailbox, so we can keep record of all of our interactions, which is angelmatch@njeda.com. The website is very similar, www.njeda.com and /angelmatch. The other one question that had popped up was, how strict are we on requirements? The EDA and federal guidelines are, I would say, very strict on meeting requirements. Back when I was an engineer, we had a phrase, it was no or no-go gauges, right? And it was literally, there was a hole, and if the gauge fell through the hole, it was go and it was good. And if it didn't, it was not good. That is the same here. if you have 10 employees, which 4 are in New Jersey and 6 are in another state, and maybe you will have 5 at some point, that's not good. We can't move forward with that. You have to meet the requirements at application, or else we can't move forward on that. Another question I saw was around what if we already have a round started, and Monica had gone through. Timing here is very important with closing funds. The SSBCI has a clause for the funding, which is, in short, there has to be a cause and effect for investment that is generated by the SSBCI funding. So for funds to be eligible to be matched by our program, they have to be closed, which means the transaction documents executed and the cash transferred within a 60-day window, which starts when an application gets approved and a commitment letter is issued to you. There actually will be a date on the commitment letter and that says that it started and when verification has to be sent by in order to be eligible. So any funds that was either the documentation or cash transferred before that approval date would not be able to be matched. Similarly, anything outside after that 60-day window would not be able to be matched. And specifically around investors, right? These have to be independent external investors from the company. So 2 of them, they couldn't be a founder of the company or a very closely employee or very closely related. And one other thing I would just like to note is, this isn't a standalone term loan, to replace maybe like an SBA loan. This is very targeted to how the technology industry works. So it is matched with a equity round from a company, again, from external investors. It has to be structured as preferred equity with a defined share price. And there is a warrant coverage that comes along with it. And also Monica had noted that tax clearance. We always like to highlight that ahead of time because it's not something within the EDA's control. It has to be obtained from Treasury. There is a Treasury website that you go through to actually access and print off a clearance, but there can be hiccups that pop up in that process. So it's good to start it now. And clearances are good for 180 days. So if you're obtaining it ahead of submitting an application, it should easily be valid throughout the process. You see, there's a couple more that popped up here. I think I've addressed any of them. Monica, do you have any off the top of your head, kind of hot button issues that we talk about when they're coming up?
Yeah, one of the questions is about revenue. We want to make sure that you do have 12 months trailing revenue of 100,000. The nice thing about this program, as mentioned, it's not a competitive in nature. So if you're not quite there yet, this program will be around. So please keep that in mind. We're here to help you through whatever process. Let us know where you are, and we'll try to, ping you back periodically to see where you are, or please feel free to ping us back to see how you're progressing with that. So 100,000 is definitely the mark we're looking for.
Yeah, that's important, right? So we're looking for product-based companies, revenue tied to product sales. It's in the last 12 months. And you will self-disclose what your revenue is in the application. And then the documentation that we look to verify that is management prepared financial statements. As you may expect, going through with the investor, it's similar to what they're looking for. Historical financial statements and then projections are also required. So we'll take a look at that because there is a condition that we can't be making grants or forgettable loans with these funds. There has to be the ability for the company to grow and potentially repay. So that's why we have a revenue requirement in the program. Other tips, I'd say, not just the website doesn't just have product requirements or program requirements. We do have in there a checklist to help with company with eligibility that also highlights the required documentation that we'll be looking throughout the process to help gather ahead of an application to help you gather those items together. There also is a FAQ, or frequently asked questions document, that could help maybe with some of those what ifs that were not addressed either today or on the website. So please feel free to check that out ahead of time as well. Yeah, and again, if you don't already have our contact information and would like to find out more, please just send an email to that angelmatch@njeda.com mailbox as well. So then it will be 100% recorded, and someone will definitely be back with you as soon as we can to address questions and run through the program with you.
The other thing I like also is this program is a little different than the typical EDA programs when it comes to timing. We really want to get these funds out quickly. So we want to make sure that you're ready to go and we're ready to close. So if you can close your rounds before the 60 days, that's fine. And then we will start our closing process. So keep that in mind. It's not like we have to go to another board meeting or anything like that. We want to close these as soon as possible.
Yeah, and I see another question that popped in around, is there any professional firms or third parties can assist with the application process? So the EDA doesn't have a recommended list or something like that, like a consultant or anything like that, that can, similar to maybe like a grant writer that you might be familiar with. But I would say your accountant or your lawyer certainly would be able to provide some more insight to assist around an application and the documentation that we would be looking for.
Another thing that came up on Founders and Funders is the event that we had earlier this week was they get grant money, and then could grant money be used as part of the revenue base. And unfortunately, grant money and service-based ones, if you're doing consultation on those products, cannot be used. So it's definitely product-based services.
Yeah, I won't get into the accounting of whether or not grant is a investment income or if it's a revenue income. But for this program, we're looking for product-based revenue. So yeah, if a company has just gotten grants and is still technically pre-revenue from a sales perspective, that's not going to meet our eligibility requirements. You know, and the other thing that I would say, please, if you're interested, reach out, and we try to be very proactive. So, you know, I think a lot of companies, it maybe is less of a no and more of a not right now. So it's good to find out all the information so you can plan ahead. And then again, I'd say there are a lot of other programs now with the EDA and programs that the EDA is familiar with. So, you know, don't expect, we're definitely not just going to read your email and say no. We're going to try to be proactive. You know, there's other programs in the EDA. We have a whole small business team that might be more applicable to your business and can help provide some advice and recommendation. We also have programs like our Innovation Fellows that is just launching if maybe you're still in the ideation phase or pre-revenue phase and haven't really formed the company together. Someone also just posted, yes, that New Jersey has a small business, the SBDC, the small business, I'm blanking on the last part, apologies. But there is multiple locations, typically in academic institutions around the state, and they are a free resource for you to reach out and can help with a lot of beyond not just EDA programs, but other areas of consultation to help grow your business. So definitely check out the Small Business Development Center. Thank you very much. So many acronyms, so little time.
The other thing I also want to mention is at the Founders and Funders event, there was a lot of companies that were still working inside their home. Unfortunately, this program does not work for home-based business, but we do have a program that may be beneficial to you. It's our NJEDA program. which allows you to have co-working space. And there are some advantages of taking a look at the NJ Ignite, where we offer some fees that we can help you with there.
Yeah, and when it comes to office location, you can't be fully remote, but we understand in today's working environment that companies are hybrid, but there has to be some physical location for the business, whether it's a formal office or just some spots in co-working facilities. That works as well. But unfortunately, a company just can't be fully remote. And that stems from both EDA requirements and the SSBCI requirements around determining that a company is truly here in New Jersey. Let's see, there. I'll check real quick to see if we've addressed all the questions here.
One question is there specific areas, geographical areas within New Jersey? This is all throughout the entire state. So wherever you are, north, south, central, it will be, you can able to access this program.
Yeah, so there's one question around product revenue and what is a product. So I guess I'll give an example of the differences between what is a product and a product-based company and a service-based company. Okay, so a product-based company would be one, let's say, in the software space, where you have actually developed the software technology, you have coders on staff, you've written it, and you are selling that product. I know there sometimes can be a little confusion because people say they are a SaaS-based business, software as a service. But if you're creating the actual product and selling something that is your own, that's what we're looking for, and to see the sales tied to that. What would not be a service business? You're an IT-based consultant where maybe you work on contract or you review other companies and then you recommend and resell another provider's product, whether that be Microsoft, or recommend solutions, utilizing AWS or something like that. That would be just service-based. You're actually reselling someone else's technology. It's not your own technology. So that's what we're trying to, that's where we delineate between what's a product-based business or what is a straight service-based business.
Somebody asked, it's an NJ Ignite program. Yes, the program that we were talking about is called the NJ Ignite program. And again, it is on our website. If you go to NJEDA under the products, it is available there.
Yeah, NJ Ignite is a program where we partner with approved co-working facilities here in the state, and we can provide a small grant to help offset the cost of a first lease within one of those facilities. Well, I'd say if there are no more questions, we could certainly wrap up and give folks a little bit more time back on their Friday. If you, after the webinar, have a question, please feel free to just straight email that to us at Angel Match mailbox, or check out the FAQs. It might be already addressed with a very detailed explanation for you there. But I'd like to thank everybody that joined today, and really appreciate the interest in the program.
Jasmine, you want to wrap up?